Hello, you're welcome. It gives me great joy to observe you viewing this video today. I'm Dr. Olayinka Kanle. I'm a lecturer in the university. I'm a researcher. I'm a public speaker. I'm a life coach. I'm an author. On this channel, I do a number of stuffs. All these stuffs I do, you can easily cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. Meanwhile, today is the first time of coming in contact with my channel and my video. Kindly subscribe to this channel. Tap your notification button so you are alerted every time I drop new video. Kindly comment, like, and share, and inform others about this channel. If you have subscribed to this channel previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. Kindly comment, like, and share, and tell others about this channel. Meanwhile, this video is part 2, the concluding part of the video I dropped the other time. So if you have not watched the part 1, this is part 2. So I kindly recommend that you watch the part 1, so you have the total view of what this video or this series is all about. So the title of this video is how to migrate to and become permanent resident in Australia. Australia is a very fine destination country, very fantastic country, and I decided to make video on Australia because people are used to going to many places like Canada. I have videos on Canada. You can watch videos on United Kingdom and the new policies, so you can watch those videos also. So I decided to make this video, like I said in the part 1, to open people's mind to other places, more opportunities, and some countries are becoming congested due to mass immigration, and policies are being innovated. Lives in those places are becoming more competitive. There are other places we can go, and I decided to make this video because I know Australia, opportunities abound in Australia. So I did part 1, so this is part 2. So you have to note that if you want to migrate to Australia, you need to have necessary skill to survive competition. You know, Australia is very competitive also. Also, more people are also coming to Australia now. So you need strong skill sets, qualification, character to contribute to Australian economy and make the best out of life for yourself. So there are types of visas you can apply for. Don't forget the Australian government find that, I said you should find online. I mentioned the name of that link and website in the part 1, which can help you with, the Australian visa finder that can assist you to navigate, to get in the right visa, because you must apply for the right visa. So there are types of visas you may want to consider if you want to go to Australia. There's skilled independent visa. We can also talk about employer nomination visa. If you have employment from Australia, because of your strategic skill set, you might be nominated by an employer also in Australia. So there's also business innovation and investment visa. So if you want to establish business in Australia, everybody wants people that will bring investment into their country, or you have innovation that you want to bring, so you have business innovation and investment visa. Australia is also good for students, like I mentioned in the part 1. There are scholarships you can win. There are strong universities in Australia that you can go study in. And especially if you are going for postgraduate studies like PhD, there are many universities there who have scholarships they can give you. So you may want to consider this also if you are a student. So there are different types of visas, also have different requirements and application processes. So, and the types of visa you have, you are applying for will determine the requirements and the processes in terms of application. I mentioned some of this in the part 1. Kindly look at that. So you have to note that the application process for Australia can be complex, can be time consuming. So you have to be determined. You have to prepare early, and it can be overwhelming. So you must take your time to study all the requirements, study all the procedures, so that you easily navigate. But be ready mentally also, and be patient so that you are able to navigate all of this. And getting permanent resident permit in Canada, in Australia, can also be a bit expensive, comparatively speaking. But eventually it can be seriously worthwhile. It can be a worthwhile adventure or steps you want to take. Might be the best you've ever taken. If you can just try as much as possible to make financial commitment to be able to navigate the Australian visa process. So it tends to be it can be expensive, but you can afford it if you make it a very necessary thing you want to do. And you must have necessary documents. You must also apply for the right visa to avoid unnecessary delay and needless refusal of your application. So gather the right documents and try as much as possible to be patient. You need virtues of patience because it can take time, dedication because it can be overwhelming and complex. So you need to be dedicated and you must be willing to comply with all the regulations. So you must be willing to comply. Now, very important point, Australia is very competitive. So you need competitive advantages in terms of your qualifications and skill sets and character. It's a competitive process. Don't forget in the part 1, I did mention the fact that it's a usually point-based system and it's taken on case by case. So you must try as much as possible to prepare for competition. In the age of globalization, labor tends to be very mobile. So people move across the globe. So you must be prepared for competition and there must be in-demand skills. In-demand skills, that is skills that are seriously in demand. So before you leave your own country, try as much as possible to build globally competitive skill sets so that you are not there and you become, or you might be ready to recertificate or take new professional route when you get to destination also. But you must have qualifications that can help you to navigate the complex competitive scenarios, and try as much as possible to do your background checks very well, do search online and get guidance, get online visa applicant community, and you can also get mentors who have traveled to those places before trying to guide you. You don't need an agent. I made a video you can find on this on this channel, how you can migrate or relocate abroad without using an agent. You can also watch that video. You don't necessarily need an agent, These are things you can do on your own if you are determined. But note these important factors. Be familiar with the cost of living in Australia. The cost of living, try to be familiar so you are prepared to have enough information or fund. Get familiar with the tax obligation and the healthcare system in Australia. Get familiar with the healthcare system, get familiar with the tax obligation, the cost of living, and also you have to be very familiar with the competition in the place, competition for work and other things you may need to do. Then you need to be familiar with the cultural differences that exist between, Australia and a block of other countries. Australia is very cultural, so that you don't experience culture shock. I have a video on this channel on culture, so you don't have cultural problems when you get to Australia. So culture shock, you may have to experience that. So get familiar with the differences, between Australia and other countries in terms of culture. Then do your research very well. It's very important you research. That you are watching this video, I'm sure it's part of your research process so that you make informed decisions. Still do research, get guidance from professionals and other people, and be aware that when you're going to Australia, we are not going to draw entirely from Australia. Australia has so much to give you, but you must also be able to contribute to the economy and that society and the national security. It's very important. Build strong character. So I must appreciate those people who have contributed to this video while I was conducting research and there. I didn't have ethical clearance to mention their names, but I did extensive research to put this video together. Aside my personal experiences in terms of migration, or my migratory experiences or migration experiences over time. So I appreciate everyone that contributed. I didn't have ethical clearance to mention their names, but I did. I can get that information across the world on this. Thank you very much. So subscribe to this channel. Kindly drop your comment, like, share, and tell others. So your subscription is very important. Subscribe to the channel. More wonderful contents are on the way. Till I see you in the next video. Thank you very much for being